Well then. Yay. Blessed moment to begin. And I started the recording so I didn't forget. So hopefully all of the technology works out. But there's a chance I have to do it manually, but it should be hooked up. So just taking this moment to give thanks, and may all the wisdom and blessings and teachings that are meant to come forth within this session flow with ease and grace to support our community, for ourselves, and our gifts that we share with the world for the healing and the benefit of all beings. Okay, I believe that we are live. The blessings of Mercury. We come to you, Awakened Heart Music community. We are so excited to start up our uh, live streams with our special guests. These live streams are called Spirit Song Sessions. And if you're new to our group, we just welcome you to this abundance of inspiration and music and awakened heart vibrations. And we're so happy to have you here. I'm Diana. This is Maggie. Say hi. And we have today a very special guest who is inaugurating the return of these sessions after the summer hiatus. And we're going to dive into song and conversation around a theme that she chose. And so stick around. We have a lot of music and really juicy conversation, I believe, that's going to unfold. And please feel free to comment, leave some comments. We'll be checking to see what you're sharing with us, any responses you have, questions that come up, anything just to invite you to engage with us. And we're overjoyed to welcome our guest. So I don't want to delay too much because I'm so excited to hear her sing and share her wisdom with us. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome Aea Luz. Aea Luz is a world soul folk singer-songwriter who entered her deep love affair with the power of sound at the tender age of 9. She sings for personal and collective transformation, spreading love through her music and honoring all that is sacred in life. Her soulful original songs, melodic guitar, and angelic voice are medicine that inspire the heart to open wider. Welcome, Aya. And as we welcome you here, I want to invite you to drop in with us in a short meditation or opening.
Thank you so much, Diana and Maggie, and to this beautiful group of beings, this Awakened Heart Sacred Sound group. I'm really honored to be here. So I'd love to invite us to begin by just allowing a deep breath, a deep belly breath, and a deep exhale. Just allowing your shoulders to drop down and back. Maybe moving your shoulders a little bit and seeing if you can create a little bit more space here in this heart area, even opening your arms wide. And just saying yes inside your heart. Saying yes to this moment. Stretching to open your heart center. Bringing your arms up over your head if it feels good. Just shaking a little bit. Welcoming new source energy to just flow through. And really just welcoming yourself here as the dear friend, the beloved. Just offering a kind and tender welcome to any parts of ourselves this morning that might be feeling scared or worried or frazzled or stressed. Or maybe just even more subtly feeling like we need to hold on or control anything at all, keep anything out, pull anything to us, just softening the grip. And welcoming ourselves here exactly as we are. Receiving some nourishing breaths right into our hearts. Feeling our connection to the earth, to the sky, up through our crowns, down through our feet. And sending our breath out through our hearts. Feeling the connection of our heartstrings to the web of all creation, the web of all life, through our empathetic, compassionate intelligence. We are welcome here. We are at home here. Home inside the chaos, still in the eye of the storm. And as you feel ready, I invite you to open your eyes and join this beautiful shared moment from this place of interconnection. And I just want to invite us all throughout this next hour together to really take a moment to close our eyes at any point in time and reconnect whenever we need to this infinite web, to feel our interconnectedness throughout space and time, to this infinite web of this one heart, beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I feel like I really needed that. And I feel like, okay, yes, now I'm here, present. And I'm so excited to be here. And this is just, yeah, it feels really just joyful to be back in these spaces. We've taken a few months off from doing these spirit song sessions, and what a beautiful way to dive back in. And just want to welcome everyone that's here tuning in. I know we have Shaniqua here, Jolie, and Stefan. So thank you all for being here. And to anyone else who's watching, feel free to drop a comment. Just let us know where you're tuning in from, what's alive in you today. And I love the theme that you chose, medicine from the mess. That just feels so relevant, and I had a really good time tuning in with it and receiving some messages. So I'd love to start by just inviting you to share about what that theme means for you and why you felt called to offer it to the space today. Yeah, it's such a juicy one. It just kind of came, as I was feeling into this session together. It's something I've been tuning into a lot lately, where for me personally, so it feels like it really is so multi-leveled on a very personal level. I experience continually the mess of my own egoic identification with really any level of separation based identification causes messes. And the predominant mess that it seems to generate is one in which I feel that I need to control life, change life, that anything needs to be any different than it is for me to be okay. And that somehow I could somehow be separate from love and freedom. And so it's really, I think that's where it starts. This theme, me bringing this here, starts with me and my direct relationship with, I would say, just the regular way in which I am brought to my knees in the face of disentangling, disidentifying, dismantling, and recognizing the capacity to be still in any moment in the full face of this seemingly real experience of separation. And that as I choose to do that, the medicine emerges from that mess. It's like that which is most challenging for me personally. So, I have my own versions. I have health stuff that I dance with, that I've danced with for a very long time, digestive stuff, immune stuff. I'm an empath, energetic stuff, spiritual stuff, where I'm processing a lot of energy a lot of the time. I'm experiencing a lot on a lot of dimensions, so much emotion that moves through, on a regular basis, so much to keep feeling and opening wider to, and saying yes in the midst of, and being still inside of, to keep discovering what the medicine is that wants to come through. So I feel like I'm kind of, it's such a big topic. It's like how to really, but every time I can meet, it's like it's the invitation, the mess in the moment, the way it's showing up. I find is always the doorway and always the invitation into a deeper bow to that which is living me. And then there comes a gift, not just for me, but for others too. So, the music is part of how that happens for me. But I know we all have our version, and it's not musical for all of us when we open to the core of our mess and allow the medicine of our transmutation to come through. So I'm curious, yeah, what this evokes for you guys. And yeah.
I feel like I'm so deep in the vibrational experience of what you're sharing that um it's almost hard to put into words. Uh, I definitely feel like I really like the use of the word mess. Um, because I think that there can be this shame that is associated with being messy. Like, oh, that person's a mess. They don't have their life together. Or, they're messy with their emotions, or they're messy with their physical space, or they're messy, they're going through something. And I've noticed when I tune into some of my deeper self judgments, the self judgments are, I'm a mess. And so I think it's really beautiful to honor the mess and actually honor that life is not straightforward, and that the if I choose to, the journey to myself and to what I'm offering in the world is an adventure through the mess. So I'm working a lot with opening in that way to shifting my perspective, because in some of those more challenging moments, I have this belief come up that everybody else is not a mess, but I'm a mess. And that's why, you know, whatever manifestation in the world I'm complaining about, but um, it's so useful to remember that we're all experiencing our own versions of that. Yeah.
And as you were just sharing, what I was hearing was it's not in the way, it is the way. And I think that's so much of what I'm referring to in that medicine from our mess. It's not medicine despite our mess. It's not that our radiance finds a way to shine through despite. It's actually the mess is the compost. And I love that metaphor so much of compost and shit. It's like the grossest, most dead, most putrid. It's what's not working. It's what's not life-giving. And yet it's in fully embracing that and allowing the ourselves to rest in that. That I am still here. I don't need to do anything about it. And of course, we're speaking, there are so many different levels to speak to. And so I'm not saying just go sit on a park bench and don't do anything. I'm all about clean your space, be an activist, follow your calling, show up. We need to show up right now. But we're speaking to this place where fundamentally, if we're not splitting off from our mess, as you just said so beautifully, by judging it, when we move into judgment and rejection of it, we split off from it. And then we fail to recognize what is actually still whole and free inside of it, that it's made of, that includes it, that doesn't need it to be any different. And we move into identification with the mess itself rather than the wholeness that it's existing inside of. And so it's this kind of amazing juxtaposition where in accepting it, allowing it, and almost going deeper into it in stillness, not in indulgence, and recognizing what's still alive inside of it, it has gifts for us. So I love that. There was I believe it was Chokosh. She's one of the 13 grandmothers. I had the opportunity to hear her speak many times years ago. She was kind of circuiting festivals, and I used to work at Earth Dance doing sound healing. And this was one of the things she would say a lot was, it's not in the way, it is the way. And so what would it be like for each of us, not only in our intimate relationships with ourselves, with the places that challenge us the most, the places that we're most tempted to like push away, reject, belittle, but also the places in each other, the places in our world that seem like big problems. It's a big mess we've created, right? what would it be like for us to look at it as an invitation into deeper relationship with ourselves? I'm curious. I'm curious, Maggie, what cooks in you?
Yeah, wow, I love that, connecting the personal mess to the global mess because I feel like both on a personal level and a global level, just opening up to like the magnitude of the chaos can be paralyzing because it feels like there's so much that's out of our control and so much that is problematic that where to even begin. But yeah, I really like what you said about going into it, not in indulgence, but with in a place of stillness and just reconnecting to our center and acting, but from this place of trust that everything in a strange way is perfect because there's just no other way to describe it. It's perfect because it is, because it's happening. It's all part of this divine creation that we may not understand. But, um, and yeah, absolutely taking inspired action in the world and in our own lives, but taking one step at a time, focusing on what we can change right now, what we feel inspired and motivated to clean up, to navigate through, and not getting paralyzed and overwhelmed by trying to fix everything at once. Yeah, such a beautiful topic.
Right, because it's like the paralyzed and the overwhelm happens when we're trying to fix it rather than first accepting it and then allowing the correct action to flow in response from the acceptance. Yeah.
I love this conversation, everything that you both shared. It just feels like just so important to bring to the collective at this moment. Um, and yeah, I know we have some beautiful people in our community resonating. Shaniqua tuning in from Brooklyn, really resonating with this. My mom is here. Hi, mom. And yeah, just want to continue to invite you to share any reflections on this theme. Um, and I'm excited to bring in some musical medicine. So I want to invite you to share a song, Aya, if you're feeling you have one on your heart.
I do, I do. So it's funny because I thought, well, this was also partially inspired coming here. Originally, Diana and I spoke a long time ago about me coming on here, and I was going to be playing songs from my new album that I just released, and this was going to be a way to share also about that. But you guys know how it is. It's like what's fresh just keeps coming, and the medicine from our mess, this song's been carrying me through really just these last few weeks, meeting the current energies that are flowing through and these times that we're in, which for me feels like it's personally been a lot about being willing to sit in the not knowing, to sit in the darkness, so to speak, and to really just allow what's going to emerge and the change that I sense, the newness that I sense unfolding, to blossom of its own accord. So this song is called On the Threshold. know it seems real when the world falls apart. But what if it's all an invitation to integrate and find a way to mend the separation? What if it's all a call to liberation, to bring these pieces of ourselves into illumination? I know what we're thinking. It's going down. This ship is sinking. But it's all up for healing. And you know what they say. It's always darkest before the dawn. You know what they say. Always darkest before the dawn. Hey, hey. So what if it's all an invitation to integrate and find a way to mend the separation? What if it's all a call to liberation, to bring these pieces of ourselves into illumination? What if it's all a call to liberation, to integrate and find a way to mend the separation? What if it's all a call to liberation, to bring these pieces of ourselves into illumination? So I'll meet you here on the threshold, praying for a miracle. I'll meet you here on the threshold. I'll be right here on the threshold, praying for a miracle. I'll be right here on the threshold. On the threshold, praying for a miracle. I'll meet you here on the threshold.
Wow, thank you. I love those questions. What if it's all for our liberation? Just that shift offered. Yeah. When did that come through?
Oh, that song came through. It started to come through about a month ago. Um, yeah, and I was sitting down on the land that I live. There's a creek, and the waters teach me a lot of songs, always. The waters everywhere. I find that they're such teachers of music. And I was hearing that melody kind of bouncing between the rocks and the waters and feeling that invitation, that place of what if it's all an invitation, and also that place of darkest before the dawn and the power of that simple fact.
Beautiful. Wow. I love that song. Such deep medicine. And I love to hear that it came through by a creek. I often receive musical inspiration next to water also. It's a big seems like a just a way to open the channel for me. And I'm curious to know more about your process of creating music. Is it often that you're just out in nature and something comes through, or do you ever like sit down with the intention to create a song? And if so, do you have any tools or practices that help you kind of open the channel and get into that space?
That's a great question. I find that there are different ways. What I notice is there are two things. One, there's desire, desire to connect with the muse. And then two, there's the sovereign presence of the song beings. And I'll often say, like, they come walking down the walkways of the universe. And it's like hearing someone in a house with wood floors walking down the hallway. I start to hear them inside myself coming, and there's almost this dynamic tension inside some it's like we're talking about the mess, often there's like I wouldn't call it a mess as much as a collection of energetics that almost start to hit a boiling point, like a tea kettle. And it's almost like I can feel the energies boiling in me and getting to an alchemical melting point where then I'm ready to connect with a new song. Um, and so yeah, there's often desire. I think there's the desire, and there's like I love to write music in nature. And also, I find that, so you asked about maybe any tips, or I don't remember exactly how you just said it, suggestions for. So when I feel like, oh, I really want to write a song, and I feel that kind of combination of the energy is ripe for something new to come through, often I will just sit at my altar. I'm imagining that most of us have, but I think if anyone who's tuning in doesn't have an altar space, that's really can be so simple. It's not about it being anything fancy, but just a consecrated space where you have a comfortable cushion. I like to be on the ground. I like to have fresh flowers on it when I can. I like to have a bowl of water to represent, and a candle to represent the fire, the living light, a little bowl or a dish that I fill with fresh water on a daily basis to really hold the living energy, and to feed love, really to feed spirit. And I sit there, and I get my notebook out, and I'll get my guitar out. I tend to write. Sometimes it's words will just come first, and if the words come, I think it's really handy to just have your phone. We probably all do this, and just start recording into your phone, because what I find is that it'll go so fast if I don't catch it sometimes. Um, so yeah, it's always different. Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's a melody, but sometimes it'll wake me up in the night, and I'm a really big fan of, like, I'll have songs come in dreams sometimes, and I am very committed to getting up, even if it's 3 in the morning. I'll like wake myself up from the dream and go sit, and or just get my phone out and record it. So I'm curious for you guys how it happens. That's kind of how it, some of the ways it can happen for me.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. It's very similar, I feel, to my own process. I know for Maggie and I, a lot of our songs in the last few years are because of the live stream. So we'll have a prompt because of the theme. Uh, and there's a lot of times while I'm driving, if I'm going through like a processing in my body and my mind, something will come. So I have a lot of phone recordings of like me in the car. um, and I think a lot of times I sit and I'm working with the guitar first, when it's a song on the guitar, just like finding what the feeling is, or like what the mood is. um and other times there's like a very clear, like, this is the song. um and I've tried to create different altars in my space for different portals. Um, so I have, like, on my main altar that I sit at, I have a Saraswati and a Hanuman, and I'm really calling forth the music and service through that altar. Um, and I really enjoy the practice of what is it like to be open to the spirits of the songs. And that's why we call these spirit song sessions. Partly the idea behind it is that the songs have consciousness, and that each one of us is a channel for different streams of consciousness and unique ways of expressing. And so, yeah, I really appreciate how you described your process. And I'd love to hear from Maggie too.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I would say for me it's similar in that sometimes the songs come through when I'm not expecting it, when I'm driving or in the shower or walking, oftentimes walking in nature, um, or after I've just come from a swim in some fresh water or the ocean. Um, Often ignite some kind of movement of energy, and a little piece will come through, and then I'll sit with it later and try to expand on it and see where else it wants to take me. But for these, often, when we have a prompt in this container of, okay, by Friday you need to have a song, it'll feel like a little bit of pressure sometimes, often. Last night I was like, wanted to go to bed and it was late, but I was like, I still don't know what the song is going to be. So, um, yeah, I'll usually start when there's a container like this with just tuning in with the theme, free writing, giving myself a set amount of time to just write and bring forth any inspiration, and then seeing if some phrases from that really resonate with me, and taking those phrases and playing with them and starting to sing with them and put them to melodies, and then, yeah, expanding on them. And sometimes I open it up to a little bit of a collaboration. Like last night, I'm here with my friend Sean, and we had we had a little gathering here last night, and I asked for help. I was like, "Here's what I have." I had a little piece, and I invited Sean and Christopher. Shout out to Christopher Lionheart if you're here. He helped come up with some of the words to the song. And Andres, my beloved, also, I just invited them to sit with that theme and write down some things. And then, yeah, it turned out some of what came through was the perfect way to complete my song. And yeah, maybe I'll transition into sharing it now since we're talking about it. And it does feel like there's maybe more to it. I have a couple pieces as of now, and it may expand, but I'll go ahead and share what I have now. Um, just before I share, I want to just acknowledge the feedback from Aea's song, um, from Shaniqua. She says, so beautiful. Your medicine is soothing my spirit. Thank you. Roi says, incredible. Excited to listen again and again to this one and dance. And Christopher, yes, glad you're tuning in. Christopher says that was an incredibly beautiful song. It's full of such heart-wrenched surrender and hope. Yeah, beautiful. So here's my little bit of a song that came through, and yeah, it really was feeling yeah, just so much medicine in this theme itself, which is everything that we've talked about so far, acceptance and just yeah, really opening to grace and allowing life to just show me, what is the next step, and coming back again and again to my center, and also using what I learn, using the strength and resilience and clarity that I gain in these moments to share, to turn it into song, to turn it into ways that I can show up in the world that can be medicine for others as well. So that was a big part of it too. And feel free to sing with me in the chorus, Sean, if you like. I'm here to teach what I know, the lessons I've learned that have helped me to grow. When the madness of life brings me down to my knees, I fall only to rise with a new sense of peace. From the mess I decide to create something sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. There's no medicine without the pain. There is no blossoming without the rain. From this place, the seeds of healing are sown. From the depths of the darkness, the light will be known. I surrender to grace and the way will be shown. Sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Rama Dasa Sa Se So Rama Dasa Sa Se So Rama Dasa Sa Se So Rama Dasa Sa Se So. Here to teach what I know, the lessons I've learned that have helped me to grow. When the madness of life brings me down to my knees, I fall only to rise with a new sense of peace. From the mess I decide to create something sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet healing, soft for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, soft for the There's no medicine without the pain. There is no blossoming without the rain. From this place, the seeds of healing are sown from the depths of the darkness. The light will be known. I surrender to grace, and the way will be shown. Sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet healing, salve for the soul. Sweet, sweet healing, salve for the soul.
Aw, thanks, Maggie. So, can you say the lyrics to the sweet, sweet healing
Salve for the soul.
have like like a balm?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Yeah.
That's
I can hear like many voices singing that together, just angelically, light everywhere. So beautiful. Um,
I was singing along on mute because it doesn't translate on Zoom, but I could hear that too. Lots of harmonies. Feel it.
beautiful. Yeah, I'd love to bring it to a circle and yeah, just keep repeating that. And um, it feels like a way to kind of just embody that um, the fact that we are our own medicine, and let our voice be our medicine, and like just feel the soothing of our own voice, and how that song can be such a beautiful tool and practice for healing and channeling, whatever chaotic energies we're going through. Like sometimes you can feel like too much to even begin sorting out like mentally what the next steps are. So sometimes just and singing, sitting down and channeling it into a song can be a beautiful first step sometimes.
It reminds me of a really cool fact that I learned when I was going to sound healing school. We used to use this voice recognition software where you could see what frequencies are most active in your voice, and most of us have like two keys that we speak predominantly in, and usually one where we're centered and then one when we're triggered and upset, a key that we move into. And it's so fascinating how the notes, if you do the biofeedback to see what notes you're missing, like, if your liver's weak, your kidneys are weak, whatever they are, you need more of certain notes. And the notes that we need more of on the biofeedback are also the corresponding notes that we tend to speak in the most with our voices. So what you're saying, it's like actually the frequency of the resonance of our own voice is literally the vibrational key for what is missing in our system. It's just so cool to see that, to see it scientifically, medically, vibrationally show up in the voice and in the body like that.
yeah, I love that. I love that there's, you know, science, to balance that, because I know that a lot we feel that on a spiritual energetic level. That's really amazing. Maybe we can get you to link us to that info somewhere later on. Share with our people. Um,
Yeah, what sound healing program did you study?
I went to the Globe Institute in San Francisco. It was a very long time ago. It was shortly after they launched the first program. I think it was in 2007 that I attended there. So I'd have to do a little research to get you links for that. It's been a long time, but I could look into it. Yeah, but it's also something you can kind of just look up biofeedback machines, but you have to actually have one, and that was the cool thing was we had access to a lot of that stuff, but I'm sure it's available online now, so much is available online.
right. Yeah. It's interesting. As a child, I was brought to a biofeedback session, um, but was not aware of the potential and had no agency in whether or not I was continuing, and no integration of the experience. But um, I remember thinking that it was really interesting to me, but I had no mental or intellectual understanding of it. Um, so before we continue, I guess I'll share a little piece, and then we want to have Aya follow up with another closing song. So stick around, everybody, and then we'll check in with her about things that she's offering and how you can be in touch with her and all of that. And if you have any questions for her, now's the time to maybe we'll pick one question if it comes through, and you can put it in the comments so we can check in on that before we close. Um, so speaking of mess, my song. I was I'm leaving early tomorrow to go see family for 10 days, and it's been quite a week. I'm expecting my moon today. I'm just sort of like feeling the energies, and little rusty on my song channeling. So I I felt like what I have to share today is like a version of either one or two separate songs that are going to be shared as one. And I was really still working out some pieces, so it doesn't feel fully complete. So, in the vulnerability of the mess, the medicine is there. So,
We receive you just as you are.
thanks. Okay. Oh, mani padme hum. Om 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 mani padme hum. out from the shadows into the light. Jewel in the lotus, illuminate my sight. Wisdom of the darkness, show me how to heal. Help me hear the whispers, the teachings now revealed. Out from the shadows into the light. Jewel in the lotus, illuminate my sight. Wisdom of the darkness, show me how to heal. Help me hear the whispers, the teachings now reveal. Now reveal, now reveal, now reveal. When I open to the gift of the pain and suffering, grace holds me like a child and shows me how to stand. And the medicine within my bones begins to sing again. When I open to the gift of the pain and suffering, grace holds me like a child, shows me how to stand. And the medicine within my bones begins to sing again. This is the offering, this is the gift, uplifting the spirit. With love I commit to healing myself, coming home deep within, to give of my life and my soul medicine. This is the offering, this is the gift, uplifting the spirit. With love I commit to healing myself, coming home deep within, to give of my life and my soul medicine. This is the offering, this is the gift, uplifting the spirit. With love I commit to healing myself, coming home deep within, to give of my life and my soul medicine. To give of my life and my soul medicine. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. open to the king of the pain and suffering. Grace holds me like a child, shows me how to stand, and the medicine within my bones begins to sing again.
So beautiful, Diana. Took me on such a journey there. Mm.
Yeah, thank you for this theme. I'm looking forward to working with those pieces, seeing what happens. Mm.
Yeah. Wow. That was, I'm always amazed at like the kind of complexity of the songs that come through in just a short time. And I know, yeah, you're feeling like it might go in a couple different directions, but I feel like it totally works all together as a song. Um, yeah, really, yeah, I love the mantra and the English words and yeah, all of it. Yeah, beautiful. Got some reflections coming through from Sarah Adams and Christopher and Shaniqua. Matthias is here with us. Beautiful. And a question from Hoey. He wants to know, when are you playing out next, Aya? So wondering if you have any shows coming up.
Hey, Rowie. That's so sweet. I've known Rowie for a very long time. I haven't seen him in probably over 10 years. So my next show is actually going to be in Colombia. Anybody who's going to be in Colombia, in the Caribbean village of Buritaca, I'm going to be playing on October 1st, September 30th. September 30th, and I'm playing with a really amazing lineup of other musicians, including Chad Wilkins and Little Whale and Ilan Nava and some local Colombian medicine musicians. So it's going to be a really sweet offering. I'll be posting about it. So I know a lot of you might not be in Colombia for that. Other than that, it's kind of to be announced because that's where I'm going to be for a little while. Yeah, but I'll keep it posted for sure when I have something else.
We're gonna get you to Sebastopol. We're gonna bring.
Yeah, Diana and I were talking about maybe putting together something in Sebastopol. I'd love to do that, so let's stay tuned on that. Yes, please.
Mhm. Yeah. So, do you have one more song that you want to share with us?
I do, and this song is called "The Mystery Is Kind," which I mean that's the relief, isn't it? That way, this is why we can open to the mess. Is because really what's holding it all, what's at the core of it all, what's including it is kindness. That there's a benevolence that's deeper and vaster that somehow mysteriously is weaving this entire mess together. So this song, really came through in a moment where I was just talk about at my knee, brought to my knees, brought to my knees at my altar, and meeting the really just meeting the collective insanity inside myself, meeting the insanity of mind inside myself, the intensity and magnification of the collective fear body inside myself, and really the terror that anything could be separate from God, that anything could be separate from love. And not as an idea, but like really going into that cellular terror in my tissues and in my being, that I'm separate, that I'm somehow separate from love. So this song kind of came through as the response to my willingness to just really going there into the trauma and being willing to feel that.
I know it's hard to let it go, but this is the moment where you're ready to grow. And I'm not saying that it's easy, no way. I know that the razor of this teaching cuts so deep, but I am staying. Can you feel me? Joy on the mountain, deep as the ocean, tears in the valley. I am beside you. I am beside you. Beauty will guide you. You are already free. So keep trusting, keep opening to the majesty invisible of life that can't be seen. It's time, let it all collide. You've got your angels by your side. You're on this ride, so open wide and let the magic be your guide. It's time, let it all align. Love is your design, you're right on track, you're doing fine. Let the heart command the mind. If you long to know, you will find that the mystery is kind. So if you seek to know, you're free. Well, you gotta stop chasing complexity. Let yourself surrender to the grief and let it all fall down. At life's feet. If you seek to know, you're free. Release yourself and you will be released. Release yourself and you will be released. Let go of your story, your identity, and let it all fall down. At life's feet. but this is the moment where you're ready to grow. And I'm not saying that it's easy, no way. I know that the razor of this teaching cuts so deep, but I am staying. Can you feel me? Joy on the mountain. Joy on the mountain, deep as the ocean, tears in the valley. Joy on the mountain, deep as the ocean, tears in the valley. Joy on the mountain, deep as the ocean, tears in the valley. I am beside you, beauty will guide you. You are already free. So keep trusting, keep opening to the majesty invisible of life that can't be seen. It's time, let it all collide. You've got your angels by your side. You're on this ride, so open wide and let the magic be your guide. It's time, let it all align. Love is your design, you're right on track, you're doing fine. Let the heart come in the mind. If you long to know, you will find that the mystery is kind. This is the part where if we could all sing together on Zoom, I know we gotta be muted, but the lyrics go, if you seek to know you're free, you gotta stop chasing complexity. Let yourself surrender to the grief. Let yourself surrender to the grief. Gotta let yourself surrender to the grief. Gotta surrender to be free. Gotta let yourself surrender to be free. Gotta let yourself surrender to be free. One more time. Gotta let yourself surrender to be free. And let it all fall down. Let's let it all fall down. Just let it all go right now. And life's free. If you seek to know you're free, release yourself and you will be released. Let go of your story, your identity. Let go of your story, your identity. Let go of your story, your identity. And let it all fall. 'Cause
Thank you so much.
Mm.
That was such a journey. I felt like I was in the waves with you in that moment you were talking about. Um, and for anyone that hasn't heard all of A's music, I just really want to plug um, the incredible gifts that she's brought forth in the form of albums that are so exquisite. And I have a bunch of her links in I believe, in the description of this video. So you should be able to find a bunch of links, and I encourage you to support the artist, buy on Bandcamp, and you have downloaded on your phone wherever you go, even if you don't have Wi-Fi, you'll have her music. And just say a personal thank you so much for being here with us. I'm like just so moved by the medicine that you bring forth, and so inspired. And I hope that this session really also inspires our community to sit with their mess and bring forth their medicine. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to weave and hopefully have you on again sometime. Do you want to share anything else about how people can be in touch with you, your music, offerings, anything else?
Oh, thank you so much to both of you. Just feel really moved too to be here in this space that you've created, and just really honored. Thank you so much for hosting this space for the medicine of our hearts and souls and our voices to really be honored as the powerful gift that it is for each other, to really move each other and aid each other in working with all that it is that we need to work with, being here, being alive. So just really honor you both for showing up for this. Thank you so much, and for inviting me. So I just released a new album that I feel very I feel proud of it. I noticed myself feeling hesitant to use that word proud, and actually it feels good to say I feel proud of it. I really was so devoted to it for about 3 years, and feel like it carries a lot of the frequencies of what has come through for me during this big COVID time. It's got a lot of really powerful songs on it, and it's called Dust and Light, and it's available on my website, aealuz.com, or as Diana said, on my Bandcamp, aealuz.bandcamp. Also, it's on Spotify if you want to listen on Spotify. I've got a number of albums up. I think what I'd love to say is that I have a new music video coming out pretty soon, and it actually goes with one of the songs on this new album is called One Thing Going On, and it's about our one heart, that really all of this is happening. This is all part of one thing that's really happening inside our one heart, our one being. And this song was actually just featured on one of my spiritual teachers' kind of Sangha emails yesterday. Her name is Gangaji, and so if you're not familiar with Gangaji and her offering to the world, she really invites us to be still and recognize who and what we are, and what has the capacity to hold it all and meet it all. And this song was just featured 2 days ago on her newsletter, and there's a music video coming out to go with the song. So if you stay tuned to my Facebook page, I also have an Instagram, I'll be sharing it there. And I have a remix coming out with Edamame, who is a really awesome music producer who does beautiful down-tempo kind of healing music. So there'll be a little dance remix coming out of I Am Free, which is also another song off of Dust and Light. So if you stay tuned and follow me, you'll get to see those things. Yeah, and I think that's it.
Thanks. And you have what's your subscription, Sangha?
Oh, yes. I just started you're so good. I just started something on my website called the Aea Luz subscription Sangha. It's $11 a month. And it's sort of my version of a Patreon. This is a way that I'm inviting people to also receive the new music that's coming through me. I'm making recordings of new songs that come through once a month and sharing them that they can support us all in the energies that we're working with, and also a way to support me to keep making music and keep showing up, to share it. So you can find it on my website, aealuz.com. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your gifts with us, your musical medicine. It's just so inspiring for us and for the community. And I remember the first time Diana and I saw you perform at G Fest. It was just such a moving experience, and it feels just really like a blessing to have you here with us now, live, sharing your music, sharing about your process and about just what inspires you to create. And so it's been a really real gift to have you here, and I'm excited to seeing your video and taking a listen to your new album. So I really encourage everyone out there to check that out and support, and see if there's anything else that came through in the comments to close. Roy was asking, is it recorded yet? And I believe that song that you just shared is on your new album, correct?
That song's actually the title track off the next album. So it is not out yet. That song will be out, but there are a lot of good ones on the new album.
Beautiful. Yeah, you'll just have to listen to it to hear. Amazing. Well, thank you all for tuning in, for being with us, and we're excited that we're bringing back these spirit song sessions now. So stay tuned in this Facebook group. We'll have some more inspiring guests coming up, and we just look forward to continuing to share musical medicine with you all this way. We also have a Patreon for this musical collaboration with Diana and myself, Awaken Heart Music. You can find our Patreon, and I want to encourage everyone who's inspired to support us with that. We have our very first recording coming out soon, so we're really excited and grateful for all the support that we're receiving here, and just grateful to be connected with you all. So I want to send blessings your way wherever you are. If you're with us, if you're watching the replay, also I invite you to share. We'll come back and check the comments later on. And just would love to hear what landed for you in this session and what you feel inspired to share, anything that came through. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys. I wonder if just for a moment before we close, we could just tune back in, just with a moment of silence, to our hearts again. Just really feel our heartstrings like roots coming out of the front and back, and really all sides of our hearts. Roots emerging from all directions, out in all directions, connecting to all of life, this web. Feeling the strength of our heartbeat, and feeling this web that we are inextricably linked inside of. And really breathing the light of that web into our hearts, and then exhaling the light of our hearts back out into that web. being charged and charging in all directions. And remembering that we can stop and do this at any moment throughout our day, even if we're in the middle of a sentence or in the checkout line at the grocery store, that we have permission to stop and reconnect with the web of our one heart and be resourced.
Thank you. See you next time.